But U.S. Bank continues to support and be involved with this event because these stories of success are so compelling and inspiring, as I mentioned earlier. It's so easy for me to get up in the morning and do my job after you witness the passion of those of you in this room on your success journey. As Governor Kim Reynolds pointed out, it's also hard to ignore the impact of over 1,300 new businesses started by immigrants just like you following participation in this summit. This is a great tool and a great experience. Small business is such a great key to economic vitality in any community. So today is an opportunity to learn, to network, to share, to nurture, and as importantly, to celebrate. So thank you for letting us and me be a part of this celebration. And in that spirit, please direct your attention to the screen. And I'm very proud to introduce a video presentation of our Leadership Award recipient, Esaie Toingar.
Born in the Czech Republic, Esaie Toingar's journey to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, inspires both awe and action. A child soldier at the age of 13, Esaie endured tremendous volatility and violence as war devastated his country. But he remained resolute and focused on completing his education before escaping the ravages of war and migrating to Iowa as a refugee.
From Nigeria to New York, the trip was wonderful. From New York to Sioux City, we had to stop in St. Louis. And that is where I was with a family from Ivory Coast. We had no money, we couldn't speak English. The only money that I have 30 naira, which is not even 2 cents or 1 cent USA. And we didn't know what to do.
He later also completed a degree at the University of Northern Iowa and established himself in Cedar Rapids, where he currently resides. In addition to full-time employment at Rockwell Collins, Esaie is the driving force of Wake Up for Your Rights, a nonprofit organization he established and leads in both Iowa and Africa.
A couple of the things that Esaie did early on when they moved to Cedar Rapids, I think, was create a community of other refugees to provide some advice, to create videos, to inspire, to inform, to create a kind of resistance movement, but also help people to acclimate.
Esaie said, Wake Up for Your Rights is to educate new immigrants with new refugees who came here to understand our right and do things that will help us. Like this soccer is to bring people together. When you are playing soccer, it's a friendly match. You make friends there. You have contacts with different people. So it's not only soccer, but it's to bring people together and have a good relationship in their community to help one another in the community.
I was really intrigued about their mission, and their charge is really to help immigrants and refugees be self-sufficient. I thought that was awesome. It really wasn't about getting a handout, but more of a hand up so they can empower themselves and creating those environments of empowerment.
Fueled by a deep well of moral courage, Esaie continues to return to Chad at substantial risk to his personal safety to initiate partnerships and projects that provide education, clean water, and legal advice to its people. In order to contribute to understanding and spur humanitarian efforts, Esaie authored 2 books based on his experiences in and knowledge about Africa, as well as one about his family's journey that brought them the blessings they enjoy today.
Dad, I love you more than I can explain. You are always happy, even when it rains.
What he hoped to do was write his memoirs, tell his story. We started turning his memories and his jottings into the book that became his first publication. He felt very deeply that he owed it to the people he had left in Chad. He owed it to friends and family to do something with his life and to return and be a voice for the voiceless. So this book, this memoir project, was an important aspect of his finally being an American, was to turn around and lend a hand to those who had not been able to make it to this country.
Esaie values the freedom and opportunities of his life in the United States with the passion of a man who knows its absence well. He is deeply indebted and devoted to this country, its ideals, and its people. Along with his wife Brigitte, he is raising his 5 children to recognize and share the blessings in their lives with those in need.
We have noticed that God put people in our path to make our life much, much better. So these are the things that give us a lot of energy to be parents, going to school, and at the same time try to help or make difference into the life of people.
Guided by a higher power, living for a greater purpose, Esaie's boundless faith, kind nature, and reassuring voice is a beacon of faith, hope, and compassion for vulnerable individuals and communities that inspires a spirit of generosity and compassion in others and mobilizes individuals and organizations to address their needs.
Overall, he's just a good person. He's genuine, he's authentic, he cares. He wants to see people engaged. And it's not just for the sake of engagement. He wants individuals to plant roots here, to advance in their jobs, to know that they can be successful. He wants the kids, the generations coming behind him, to know what their history is and feel comfortable sharing that.
For his unwavering personal commitment and selfless work on behalf of first-generation immigrants in Iowa and impoverished communities in Africa, Esaie Toingar is the recipient of the 2018 Immigrant Entrepreneurial Leadership Award.
Thank you. I love Iowa. Thank you, Mr. Mike, and thank you, Professor Akira. Without forgetting the staff of IES for the wonderful job that they have been doing to make impact into the life of immigrants here. My lovely family, Bridget, and children, thank you for your continuous support to make me a kind of person that can make impact into our community. Esteemed board members of Robinson's and the Hayes Foundation, I so much thank you for providing water, clean water, for the poor countries in the world, and you do not forget my country, Chad. I also want to express my thanks to police of Cedar Rapids. We have a great partnership for many years, more than 10 years, just to make our community safe, and at the same time, we help immigrants as well as Iowans to learn from each other about cultural differences. When I was brought to Iowa as a traumatized refugee, I could not speak English and I did not know the culture. But Iowans did everything they could to make me a kind of a man and transform me from no one to somebody today. Jane Ann Schramm, I'm not sure what I will be without you when I first arrived in the United States. You take me like your baby, your boy, and you open me the door. I so much thank you and thank Iowans. Dr. Kerry and Esaie, how blessed I am to know you and to have you in my life. You have been my supporter as well as my advisor, and today I am proud to call you and Jeannie my mom, my mother, and my friends of all circumstances. Karen and Jean, I think you deserve more this award than me. Fellow immigrants and refugees, most of us think we have lost everything and there's no way we could make a difference in our life again. But let me tell you, we are in the state where they have compassion and they are ready to help us to transform our to transform our trauma to success and our struggles to hope. All of us went through a lot because of our cultural differences and the trauma that we went through in the past. I believe we can transform our struggles to positive actions so we can make impact into our life, the life of our children, and transform our community to a better community. This is one of the reasons that Wake Up For Your Right has been working hard day and night with law enforcement in schools and communities so Iowans and immigrants can learn from each other and break down their cultural differences. I would like to finish by asking ourselves a question. How was our life when we were in Africa or in the rest of the world? And now we are in the blessing country. What can we do for our communities? What can we gain from our communities and take it back to our countries, regions, or our continents? Thank you so much. I love you all, and may God bless Iowa, and may God bless the world.